was driving to work this morning, I was listening to another radio station, as we broadcasters sometimes do. What I heard shocked and saddened me.
The Entertainment Roundtable.
They're here, nerds.
Wait, is this the group that goes around mutilating squirrels?
You just mind your P's and Q's, Buster, and remember who you're dealing with.
Well, at least we found them. Fortuitous, Captain. And now that we have them all together,
you can't make an omelet without breaking some eggs.
The Entertainment Roundtable.
They make one person go, blah, 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 and the other person go, what are you talking about? And then one person goes, blah, 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 blah.
Welcome into the weekend. Hope everything is going well with you. Going to have 3 opportunities to hear us this weekend, as it turns out. Our normal stops on Saturday, 5 o'clock in the morning, 7 o'clock on Sunday evening, or Saturday evening. And on Sunday, we're going to be on at 10 a.m. as we change around things here. As we get towards the end of the NASCAR season, they're getting later and later on their starts, so we're guaranteed an airing. But because of the other show that I co-host with Dustin, Fastest Hour in Radio, we're trying to move that to where it stays the hour in front of NASCAR. I had to move us back to 10 a.m.
Oh, well.
That's all right. We're on, and we'll be here to give you all the entertainment news. I just read a headline. See if you can look this up. Front page of Yahoo. Apparently, there is a lawsuit related to a line that Jennifer Lawrence uttered in the movie American Hustle. Let's see if we can find out more information about that. In the meantime, you've heard from Jeff, and on the phone, Ryan. Hello, sir.
Hello, Steve. The Avengers. How's everyone doing?
Yeah, we are mostly back together. Josh is missing. More on that in a moment. I haven't heard from David either, so I don't know what's going on there, but you never know. The other guy that's on the phone, though, is Jacob. And have we had a good week, sir?
It's been a week.
Okay, we're going to stop it right there because we want to have some fun right now and enjoy ourselves. Coming up a little bit later on in the show, Jacob, you have seen the NBC TV show Constantine, and you have a review, correct?
I do.
All right, be looking forward to that coming up here in just a few moments. Stop me if you've seen anything this week that we have not gotten to previously when it comes to a review. I think we've done everything because did we see John Wick in time to do the review?
No, sir.
See, I'm losing track of time all over the place.
That's
we saw it last Friday night. Is that correct?
You did. I saw it later in the weekend.
I thought the three of us went to go see Fury.
Correct.
That's what it was. Okay, see, I'm getting myself all just flummoxed and out of here. Okay, so we'll have John Wick reviews coming up here in just a moment. There you go. All right, here we go. The Judge in at number 10, $4.3 million, so that's not a bad start for the top 10 movies of the week, $4.3 million, 34.4. Seems to me, and I don't know where anybody was kind of predicting this to go, but when you got Robert Downey Jr., when you got a Robert Duvall, seems like this is kind of underperforming money-wise at the box office. Am I off base here?
I mean, it's more of a touchy-feely art housey, not exactly art house, but more of the not so actiony type.
Oscar bait. Is that the word you're looking for?
Yeah. Thank you.
Well, indeed, yeah, I would say that it is Oscar bait, and I'd be surprised if at least they didn't get some mentions for it. I don't know whether they'll be nominated or not, but I would think that at least Robert Duvall probably would, because that's kind of a tough role for him. And Robert Downey Jr. did a fantastic job on the other side of it. Dracula Untold still hanging around, $4.4 million more for it. The Best of Me, $4.6 million. Alexander, the Terrible, Horrible, so on and so forth, $7.2 million. And then the movie that we've seen this happen on many occasions. It started off very, very limited release. Bill Murray and others in the movie St. Vincent. All of a sudden it goes into a bit wider release. $7.7 million, and it sits at number 6. So $8.5 million in the first 2 weeks, and I've heard very good things about this film.
I have too.
I still would like to see it.
Question is where can we find it?
Good luck.
Yeah, exactly. All your top 5 films this past week made $10 million or more, and it starts with the animated The Book of Life at $10 million. Gone Girl, $11 million. Fury, another $13.3 million. And then that brings us to the debut, the premiere, John Wick, $14.4 million. I'm a little disappointed after having seen the film, truth be told.
I think this one's going to have good word of mouth, and I wouldn't be surprised if it does not leave the top 3 this week, if it stays in there.
It wouldn't surprise me terribly looking at what we've got. So, yeah, you might be right. Jeff, we'll go ahead and start with you.
Great. Yeah, we talked about this trailer, and I was just pumped for this movie because it just seemed like a great pulpy actioner. And if you like what you see in the trailer, let me tell you, it is exactly selling you the movie you get. This one is one of the best action movies, pure action movies I've seen in years. Because the directors, in parentheses, were both former stunt guys and second unit directors, so they actually want to show you the action that their stunt guys prepare for. So everything, no shaky cam baloney, everything's shot very clearly, and they've created this great little subculture, like this underground world where hitmen, have a special hotel they stay at. They have all these rules they adhere to, and most of the fun from this movie is seeing the reactions of people when they find out that John Wick is on his way.
Right.
But yeah, this one is a solid. As far as action movies go, this is a solid 9.5.
Okay.
But as a film, it is a solid 8.
Gotcha.
Very rock solid. I mean, nothing. You will have a good time.
Gotcha. Is it Jeff and I the only ones that have seen this, Jacob?
Yeah.
Okay, just double checking. Ryan, you haven't had the chance to see this.
No, nothing has really gotten me fired up. I mean, John Wick I am interested in, maybe down the line on Redbox, but next weekend with Interstellar is where the real heat comes in.
Okay, well, I think actually you're short-selling yourself there a little bit, Ryan, because I agree wholeheartedly. When we looked at this trailer the first time, we were caught off guard by the line, right, which is just overwhelmingly corny in a lot of ways. But when you get into the film and they actually set it up and they lead you into it, you start to understand where he's going with it. And it is it's a fun ride. It is very violent. There's a lot of gunplay. There's a lot of words. So, go into this with your eyes wide open. But on the same side of it, if you are going to do what Keanu Reeves' character, John Wick, did for a living, had this happen to him, you would expect this response.
Yes.
It's perfect. And quite frankly, I went with a friend of mine, much even bigger into the whole idea of self-defense than I am, and I'm not exactly unarmed. But we started noticing things, like he would go and he would put down somebody and then concentrate on somebody else and then come back to the person and finish them off, which is what you're taught to do. It's textbook.
No one left alive.
No one, absolutely. And then you would get these wonderful little lines that were in there. For example, John Leguizamo, who is very highly touted in the credits, obviously because he's a well-known name, he spends, 5 minutes in the film?
If that.
Yeah, if that. Yeah, absolutely. Walks right in, notices the car, because we all know the car was stolen. Notices the car, goes, where did you get that car? And, all of a sudden, he's ticked off. You understand it. Everything's good. When he is called by the guy who he beats the tar out of to say, why did you hit my son? He goes, your son stole John Wick's car. And the dad goes, oh, and hangs up. It's just classic. It's good stuff. It's a little bit campy, but it is a whole lot of fun. It is a great popcorn ride. It's a shame that this thing was not put out over the summertime, because this would have made a great summer action film.
Absolutely.
And I'm freaking out over the fact, Jacob, that I can now say I've seen 3 solid films 3 weeks in a row this year, because that unheard of. Absolutely unheard of.
Didn't this make 4?
Let me think.
You said Fury was 3.
Was Fury 3? Let me think.
There was Fury. There
Gone
was
Girl,
Gone Girl,
Fury, John Wick. What was the first? Oh, The Judge.
The Judge.
Boom.
Wow, I'm up to 4.
Bit on a row.
I am breaking records, man.
I want to say one last thing about John
I'm just
Wick.
praying that Interstellar or Nightcrawler. Well, I think maybe Jacob and I are going to try and check out Nightcrawler sometime this weekend. I'm hoping that doesn't break the string. I'm going to give this an 8.5. It was so much fun. This was the film that I was hoping Lucy would be. Right. Lucy was fun, but you just couldn't get over the big holes in the plot.
Right.
This one, there are some holes in the plot. I can let him go.
Well,
I had that much fun.
It's just such a straightforward, sort of simple, self-contained story that Lucy had all this other convoluted baloney going on.
Yeah,
this one was
exactly.
Just, boom.
Yeah, this is what you get. We're going to set it up within the first 5 to 10 minutes. You know where we're going to go, and we're still going to take you there, and you're still going to enjoy the ride.
My last
is it
thing
like Taken on steroids?
It's not really Taken.
Well, I mean, not Taken as in plot. I mean, Taken as in action with Liam Neeson breaking necks and cashing checks.
Yeah. You could easily say that.
It's the world is a little more heightened. It's almost sort of like a comic book world almost. No, I mean nobody has superpowers, but there's they've got this whole little universe of their own that they've created. Like I said, this sort of hitman society.
Well, let's face it, Keanu Reeves' character has a superhuman ability to go from one target to acquire the next.
Right.
That's a little bit comic bookish, yeah.
The highest compliment I can pay this movie is when I went to see it, there were maybe 30 people in the theater.
Mm-hmm.
And once it got started, you could tell everyone was into it because everybody, laughed at the same thing. When something happened, people would gasp and go, "Oh,"
Yeah, exactly. This one had one thing that I just enjoyed so much about it, and I remember this so well from when I was a kid, 9 years old, Star Wars. And if you go into the original Star Wars, you realize you're thrown into action, you're given a chance to catch your breath. Maybe a little bit of humor, maybe a little bit of story point, a little bit of drama, whatever it is. And then they throw you back into more action, then give you a chance to breathe, a little bit of humor, a little bit of drama, and then back into action. This is what John Wick did. A little bit of a chance to catch your breath. We're going to set up the storyline, throw you into action, give you a chance to catch your breath, chance to laugh, whatever, and then throw you back into more action. This one did it very, very well.
See John Wick, people.
Can I sum up what I'm assuming your review is in the phrase? So people keep asking, is Keanu Reeves back? Yeah, I'm guessing he's back.
In this case, yes. From here on out, I don't know.
Right.
We'll talk about him here in a little bit because I think, if I remember correctly, we've got some word about him in another role that he's about ready to be set up in. We know that they're coming up with a Bill and Ted 3, which I'm a little leery about. I'm thinking he might actually be shooting himself in the foot going back to that character, so I don't know. But in this case, if he were to continue to play roles like this and have it well-written and well-directed and well-paced, yeah, he actually could be back. I could see that.
I hope they do more John Wick movies, to be honest with you.
This series of books, right?
No.
No?
This is original creation.
Okay. I like it. Wow.
Hollywood finally did something original.
Yeah, Hollywood actually did something original. Go figure. And starting off at number 1, and I don't imagine it'll be there much longer, Ouija, which debuts to $19.8 million.
Can't believe that $19.8 million worth of people went to see that movie.
But yes, they did. Here's the thing. As we record this on Friday, it is Halloween. I would imagine this will probably get some box office tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For Saturday and Sunday, this thing could be ready for a humongous tumble.
It could be, yeah.
We'll see. It's the only pure horror movie out, so we'll see.
Yeah, that's true. And then you get what we got coming out this weekend, and there is one pure horror movie that's out this week, kind of a slasher film, really. They are re-releasing for a very short period of time the movie Saw. Cary Elwes, Danny Glover, the re-release of the very first film in that series. And again, it's a limited time frame release. I think it's only out for a week, maybe 2, and then it's going to be gone again. So now you got the split in that money plus your past Halloween. So I don't know as this is going to. I don't think Ouija's got legs, if you'll pardon the kind of the play on words. And then we get into 2 other films that are out this weekend, and this one seems kind of thrillerish. Before I Go to Sleep, Nicole Kidman, Colin Firth, woman who wakes up every day, no memory of anything as the result of a serious accident, but she begins to question those people who are kind of all around her, giving her advice and trying to get her around. Again, this is kind of thrillerish in my mind and a little bit of mystery, but I'm not so certain, and I could be wrong, but I don't know as this is going to grab a whole lot of people.
Well, the marketing for it has been god-awful.
True. Jacob?
So a non-comedic version of 50 First Dates.
That may be another way to look at it. Exactly.
Yeah, kind of like that. Or what was the other one with Sandra Bullock? Premonition, maybe?
A
little bit of that thrown in there.
I was trying to remember Premonition right offhand. It's been a while since I've seen it.
Yeah.
But yeah, you might be, something like that, yeah.
By the way, I don't think a non-comedic version of 50 First Dates is necessarily a bad thing. It's not necessarily a knock against that movie.
Right, exactly. And then the film that you and I are talking about going to try and check out sometime this weekend, Jacob, Nightcrawler, Jake Gyllenhaal, Rene Russo, Bill Paxton, man who works his way into L.A. crime journalism and ends up kind of blurring the line between observer and participant. What I'm worried about here, Jacob, is the fact that I think I already know how this is going to end, and I'm afraid that I'm not going to be impressed with the ride to get there.
I don't know. You said Bill Paxton. I'm in.
All right, I like it. We'll have to work out a time, and Jeff, I'll be more than happy to let you know when we're going.
Yeah, let me know.
I will, absolutely. If you are interested and want to do the legwork on trying to find out if it is playing in your local area, you have the limited release films of Goodbye to Language 3D, Horns, which stars Daniel Radcliffe. I was led to believe this was going to be a wide release film, and it turns out it's the limited.
Huh.
That's a shame.
Well, and here's the thing. I don't know.
I like the book. It's written by Stephen King's son.
I'm wondering if this is going to be kind of like St. Vincent, start off limited release, go wide later.
Probably.
But I haven't heard anything specific on that. A movie called The Great Invisible. You also have the ABCs of Death 2. When I was a kid, what was the name of that video series?
Faces of?
Faces of Death. That got real popular. Is this like an extrapolation upon that?
I think it's a movie made up of 26 very short films. Each of them, like, A is for anger, B is for brutality. You know, each one a different letter of the alphabet.
Gotcha. Have you seen?
No.
No? Okay, just asking. I find this one interesting. Showrunners, The Art of Running a TV Show. This is a documentary about directors. It features the likes of J.J. Abrams. I don't think that we're going to find this. This is usually one of those kind of documentary films don't generally get a wide release. In other words, they don't generally make it to a Birmingham or even Ryan up to you in a Baltimore area. These are usually just New York City and Los Angeles, but this is something I might have to watch out for when it comes out on DVD. Sounds like it might be fun. Magical Universe in a film called God the Father, and don't think that this is a faith-based film. I looked this up. Now, it does have a faith undertone to it, but it is a gentleman that Michael Hart, here on Superstation 101, has interviewed on several occasions. This is a film about Michael Franzese and his time in the family, the mob, and his kind of rise up into the ranks, and then he found Christ and how he's turned his life around. This is a dramatic retelling, not a documentary, which also could be interesting. Ryan, you mentioned it a couple of moments ago. Among the films coming out next weekend, Interstellar, and Big Hero 6, which I cannot wait to see Big Hero 6. That just looks like all kinds of fun.
Yeah, it does.
And the film The Theory of Everything, so next weekend could be busy. We're starting to get into an area where things are actually looking pretty good. It used to be that the area between Labor Day and a couple of weeks before Thanksgiving was dead. Now it's like, good grief, they're coming out with all kinds of good stuff.
Yeah, it's sort of like blockbusters have claimed between Thanksgiving and Christmas, so the good mid-range movies come out before, between Halloween and Thanksgiving.
Yeah, and they've actually put some quality stuff in there, and that's the other side of it. When we come back, we'll get into movie news, and we'll mention the fact that Big Hero 6 is coming out next week. You get some extras with it. We'll get into some of those details next.
Hope you got your popcorn, because we're back to the Entertainment Roundtable on Superstation 101.
Welcome back. As we come back, you're listening to the group The Supremes, the old Diana Ross and the Supremes with You Keep Me Hanging On. This you will find, if you go see it, onto the soundtrack of the movie Before I Go to Sleep, coming out this weekend. All right, so next week, again, kind of a busy week. 2 films we definitely want to go see. Big Hero 6, animated film. Also Interstellar, which looks fantastic. Hopefully it will be as good as it looks. Jeff, let's go back to Big Hero 6. They have announced they've got some additional features that you will catch, not on DVD, but in the movie theater.
Yeah, in a recent interview, directors Don Hall and Chris Williams revealed that the movie will have an after-credit scene, like most Marvel Universe movies do, as well as what they termed Z-list Marvel and Disney Z-list level Marvel and Disney level Easter eggs. So
okay,
they said it was interesting working with these animators that came up in our generation, because everybody was trying to put something in there to the point where they're like, let's cool it.
Now, how closely, again, you noted that it's Marvel Universe. How closely related is it to any of the characters that we know so well from the Marvel Universe over the past few years?
They said there's going to be very obscure, what they would call Z-level characters.
Okay.
But he said most of them will be in Fred's room.
Interesting.
The character Fred.
So pay attention to your surroundings as you watch the film.
And they're not dropping any hints about the after credit scene.
I bet they're not.
So
All right.
A collector-like scene from Guardians of the Galaxy.
That could be fun. That would be an interesting crossover too, if they did that. Jacob, to you, and the 3rd installment of The Hobbit coming out in about a month. We know a bit about what to expect. Is it the director that's talking about what we're looking forward to when it comes to Battle of the Five Armies, or who is it that's talking?
Yeah, Peter Jackson has talked a little bit, and we found out the Hobbit Battle of the Five Armies will end with a 45-minute epic battle sequence, which in normal director time was about 10 minutes of the movie. But he's also said too, those who are concerned that 45 minutes of battle sequence is a little much. That they're going to have a rule that they're not going to go more than 2 or 3 shots of anonymous people fighting without cutting back to the principal characters.
Well, I don't know as that's my biggest concern here. I mean, 45 minutes of nothing but a whole bunch of swords and people being beheaded and slashed open, that might be just a little bit too much for some people.
Maybe.
Just wait till the extended edition Blu-ray comes out.
Yeah, then it'll be an hour. Which, by the way, we'll get back to the extended edition of the Hobbit movie coming up in a little bit.
It'll be called The Battle of the 5 Hours.
Exactly. Ryan, we start our superhero portion with you, my friend. Marvel working up their upcoming Doctor Strange film. They're going to need a Doctor Stephen Strange, and we've heard rumor upon rumor about who it could be. It appears they've settled on an actor, and from what I understand, it's not anybody that we have talked about previously.
Right, yeah, and take this with a grain of salt. Nothing is confirmed yet. The executives at Marvel have not said that this is official, but the rumor going around is that Benedict Cumberbatch is in final talks to secure the role of Doctor Strange.
Okay, we have seen, obviously, the illustration of Doctor Strange. We've all had our thoughts about who might be a very good person to portray Doctor Strange. Can you see Jeff Benedict Cumberbatch in the role?
Absolutely. The only reason I never mentioned him before because he wasn't in the running, so... Yeah, now that he's like, sure.
Him over anybody else, or you still have a preference over Benedict?
I like me some Cumberbatch, so let's do it.
Jacob?
Oh, I love the casting. I'm curious if they're going to write him as a British person or an American, because Doctor Strange is American.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, I mean, you love the casting.
You okay with this, Ryan?
I mean, absolutely. This guy's star has been on the rise for the last number of years, especially with, here in America, not only just with Sherlock, but with his impact in the Star Trek universe. I think he can play any role he puts his mind to.
He ate up the screen in Star Trek. I mean, he absolutely stole that movie.
Absolutely, 100%.
Go watch 12 Years a Slave and tell me Benedict Cumberbatch is not a great actor.
Yep. So, yeah, I'm perfectly fine with it. If they put him in that role and he accepts, I'm in. That sounds good to me. Jacob, Marvel working up their long-term plans as well, about to kick off what they term Phase 3. That actually kicks in when they follow up what you get after Avengers Age of Ultron. And are they releasing details of the plan?
Yeah, we have the entire Phase 3 lineup.
Oh, hello.
I'm going to try to go through this quickly because there's a lot to break down.
Sure.
May 6, 2016, we get Captain America Civil War, which is based on the Civil War storyline from Marvel.
And by the way, didn't a bit of video, I don't know how reliable this is, but didn't a bit of video come out earlier today that seems to hint that towards the end of Avengers Age of Ultron, it kind of sets us up into that?
I haven't seen that, but I would surprise me.
I have.
Am I right on this, Ryan?
Actually, you are. There was a bit of footage that was leaked thanks to the gods of the internet, and I saw it. I'm telling you, they're going to set it up, and they're going to set it up good.
Is that the wood chopping scene?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
It's coming, man.
All right.
They're planting the seeds.
All right, Jacob, continue.
All right, we get Doctor Strange on November 4th of 2016.
Okay, so 2 films, 2016.
Guardians of the Galaxy 2, which is still yet to be named, in May 5th of 2017.
Okay.
July 28th of 2017, we get Thor Ragnarok. November 3rd, 2017, the third movie in 2017.
3 films.
Get Black Panther, who has already been cast, is going to be Chadwick Boseman from 42 and Get On Up fame.
That I can see.
So, like that casting, that's a good casting in my opinion. We get Captain Marvel on July 6th of 2018, and that is for comic book nerds who are curious. That is the Carol Danvers character, not the Norvar. I forget the exact
Marvel.
Marvel, that's it.
Yeah.
November 2nd, 2018, we get Inhumans. May 4th, 2018. This is actually before Inhumans, but May 4th, 2018, we get Avengers Infinity War Part 1. And May 3rd, 2019, we get Avengers Infinity War Part 2.
Rumors.
Black Panther is going to appear in costume in Captain America: Civil War.
Okay.
Oh.
I've heard rumors about the third Avengers film and the fact that some of the ones that we are so familiar with in the first and the upcoming Age of Ultron may or may not have big parts in the third one that's split into two movies that you're talking about.
I've heard those rumors from what they said in this, because this was a big Marvel announcement event. There weren't a lot of details about what was going to go on that far out.
Okay.
So as far as plot lines, we're not sure.
Gotcha. All right. So we've got that, and 3 films in 2017. Yeah.
Good heavens.
I'm all about it.
Yeah, they're starting to do 3 per year. It seems like after that.
Yeah, pretty much. At least confirmed we know of 2 in 2018, but, hey, again, they could add as time goes on. So the calendar for Marvel's set. DC kind of talking a little bit about their future, Jeff. Are they doing stuff to rival Marvel?
They're trying their best.
Yeah?
Yeah,
They're stumbling out of the gate so far.
8 or 9 films over the next 4 or 5 years as well. So
yeah. Well, when it comes to one man, he says that he is not going to be involved when it comes to the future of DC Comics. Who is that and why?
Yeah, in a recent interview, Jonathan Nolan said neither he nor his brother will be a part of any of these.
So Christopher Nolan's out.
Right, and a quote from Jonathan Nolan says, "I love those guys, and my brother was involved in Man of Steel with Zack Snyder and David Goyer. I kind of feel like that chapter for us is closed. To be continued somewhere further down the line? Maybe."
So he hasn't shut the door entirely.
Right, but I think it'll be a pretty safe bet to say that they're going to go on and do their own thing.
We're done. One more DC Comics note, actually 2 more here. Ryan, we start with you and Gal Gadot, so committed to the upcoming Batman vs. Superman film that she had to back out of another high-profile film. What's the one that she backed out of?
Yeah, she was going to be a female lead in the Ben-Hur remake, but she has since dropped out of that due to scheduling conflicts with not only Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice, but let me see here. Wonder Woman, Justice League Part 2, Justice League Part 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Yeah, Jack, Wonder Woman's going to be busy for the next 10 to 15 years.
Since we mentioned that part of it, she is going to be busy because not only does she get the part in Batman vs. Superman, they're releasing some details about her standalone film.
Yeah, I kind of missed this for my thing, but I have read the story, I do believe, and there's rumors that it may be set back in the Roaring 20s. So that'd be kind of cool. Our first real superhero period piece.
Yeah. Pardoning Captain America.
Captain America. I'm sorry.
Pardoning Captain America. But this does go back earlier than Captain America. Does that count?
But then again, X-Men was in the 70s, future past, so part of it. All right.
So this will be our third period piece.
Completely wrong. So.
It's good stuff. Jacob, the sequel to Divergent coming out next year. The movie studio has plans for the sequel to be entitled Insurgent. It's not really big plans if you ask me, but I guess people would like to know this if you really want to go see the film. What are the plans?
First, the official name of the film will be the Divergent series: Insurgent.
Oh, excellent.
Because we have to copy the Hunger Games.
Well, sure.
And now you will get both 3D and 2D. So now you get to watch bad acting and bad storylines in a third dimension.
I feel like I'm there as they flub the line.
Yeah, I'm thinking I might have to skip the 3D version of it just to say. Ryan, the series that Divergent would have liked to have emulated that Jacob just alluded to, the Hunger Games, they seem to have set a record without even their third film being out yet. What's going on with their ticket sales over there?
They are breaking records all over the place. According to Fandango, MovieTickets.com, over 70% of their ticket sales in the last few days have been for nothing but Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 1 tickets. They have broken records everywhere.
Getting into the opening weekend of this film might actually be a chore.
Probably. Yeah, I already know a group of my friends here in the Baltimore area. They already bought their tickets ahead of time.
Well, we'll have to see.
Yeah, I'll probably go after work on a Monday or Tuesday, I guess.
Yeah, we will have the review here. I'm just not so certain that we're going to have the review in time for the weekend show when it comes out. But we'll be there, and we'll check it out.
People are going to go see this. I mean, they know they're seeing it or not, whatever we say.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
It's terrible. I don't care.
Yeah, still going. Jacob, Steve Jobs biopic, more closely related to the actual book than the life of the Apple co-founder than the one that we saw last year that had Ashton Kutcher's in it. Still continuing to add to the cast. In this case, they have cast the role of Jobs' co-founding partner, Steve Wozniak, who's going to portray the great and powerful Woz.
Yeah, we have now found out that they have cast Seth Rogen as Steve Wozniak, opposite Christian Bale. Jessica Chastain is also being eyed for a role, but we don't know what.
Seth Rogen. Okay, I can see him physically, but I don't
I don't buy it. This is a bad move in my opinion because
I don't catch him as a dramatic actor.
Well,
that's because he's not.
Well, and I mean, Steve Wozniak is a funny guy, but he's more brains.
Yeah,
and
Seth Rogen's never come across as being awfully brainiac.
Right, I don't see Seth Rogen pulling off brainy. As a computer nerd, I don't buy it.
Jeff, anything?
I'm not planning on seeing this anyway, so whatever.
Guess that ended that. Ryan, let's go ahead and get back to talking about a little bit John Wick, because the star there, Keanu Reeves, does have his next movie role planned. Reportedly, this one's sci-fi?
Yes, it is. Keanu Reeves is going to take part in a sci-fi thriller known as Replicas, and he's going to portray a neuroscientist whose family is killed in a traffic accident, and he is going to stop at nothing to bring them back, pitting himself against a government-controlled laboratory, the police task force, and the physical laws of science.
Sounds vaguely Fifth Element.
Sort of, kind of, yeah.
Okay. What is the name of this? Have they come up with a name?
Yes, it's called Replicas, and they're going to start shooting in the spring of next year.
So possibly holiday season. Well, I guess it would depend on how special effects heavy that they're going to be. Could be holiday next year.
Yeah, if not that, it'll be, 2016, I believe?
Summer 2016, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, maybe just in time for John Wick Part 2.
I'm really hoping that science ends up taking, like, the dog that his dying wife gave him. He has to declare revenge on science.
We are going to be all over that dog for a while, I can tell. Jeff, we're going to wrap up movie news here with a couple of more notes with you. Seems kind of like an obvious choice that you make a movie out of the events of September 11th, 2012. 4 Americans killed in the attack at the embassy in Benghazi. Studio in this one talking to one director in particular, and we all know his name quite well.
Well, yes, Paramount is in negotiations. There has been no contract signed yet to helm the movie 13 Hours, which is based on the book 13 Hours, the inside account of what really happened in Benghazi by Michael Zuckoff. And ladies and gentlemen, if there's one man who can bring such a dark and horrible chapter in America's foreign policy history to life, it is none other than Michael Bay. I mean, let's be honest. Obviously, he's going to give it the respect it deserves, I'm sure. It's just going to be tastefully done. And so
it's probably going to be really close to the source material.
It probably will, except more of the Middle East will probably be blown up.
I was waiting for that. Somehow I knew that was coming into play there, because what we know from Michael Bay so well is explosions.
Right. They will use, I think one of the synopses I read said that the attackers will be armed with machine guns that shoot nothing but explosions.
Explosive rounds.
No, just explosions. I mean, there's...
Yeah, it's just, as soon as it comes out of the muzzle, boom!
Yes.
That's it. Michael Bay, not exactly the first choice when it comes to a dramatic film like this.
Yeah, a source close to the project said Bay read a first draft of the script and liked it.
Isn't he doing a Call of Duty movie?
Michael Bay, is he doing a Call of Duty movie? Is he?
I thought he was, if not something related to a video game franchise.
I heard
or was it PsyOps?
I think he was doing a Call of Duty movie, but I think the call of is silent.
Jacob, what were you wanting to say?
I was just going to say that, can we just finally make the decision that Michael Bay is not the first choice for any movie?
Yeah, after Transformers 4, we can all agree.
What?
Oh,
whoa,
hello,
boom,
Ryan.
Ryan dropping the mic.
All right, then. There you go. One more note, Jeff. I mentioned it at the top of the show. Came across that headline on Yahoo News about Jennifer Lawrence and a line that she uttered in American Hustle. Apparently, it's got somebody upset. What's the deal there?
Yeah, there's apparently a scene when they're discussing a microwave, and her character tells her husband that microwaves make food less nutritious, saying that she read it in an article, Look, by Paul Brodeur. Now, Brodeur has written about the hazards of microwaving, but he claims in his lawsuit he never said that it sucks the nutrients out of food. So that's what it's about.
So we can't go off into the world and honestly think that, hey, maybe Jennifer Lawrence's character might have misread it.
Or she wasn't that bright. I haven't seen the movie, so I don't know.
Yeah,
her
if you haven't seen the
character.
movie, she's not exactly a brilliant scientist.
Yeah, she's not a Rhodes Scholar in the movie American Hustle. This, to me, is so much junk.
I know. I mean, whatever, people. It's kind of like
This is Paul DeRoger probably trying to relive his glory days.
It's sort of like this lawsuit from the guy who's suing the Simpsons people.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Talked about that a couple of weeks ago here on the show. You know, we were ahead of that because we talked about that, 2 weeks ago now?
Oh,
And
last week.
I just saw it Thursday night on the Fox News Network, and I saw it this morning on the local channel 13. Folks, you're 2 weeks behind. We kind of beat you here.
Hope you got your popcorn, because we're back to the Entertainment Roundtable on Superstation 101.
Welcome back.
We get back into the news here and the Entertainment Roundtable, which you can find us online, facebook.com/The Entertainment Roundtable. All of us have the ability to produce and put stuff up there and contribute, so by all means, check us out. And yeah, I did mean that for our local TV stations, by the way. I don't know where you're getting your entertainment news, but obviously you are well behind the times because we had it long ago. We come back to the song, the old theme song to the old TV show, Welcome Back, Kotter. Goes back to the 1970s, the reason why. Some sad news out of Hollywood, so we'll go ahead and just talk about that right now. When Marcia Strassman, best known for her roles in the 70s TV show Welcome Back, Kotter, in the films Honey, I Shrunk the Kids and Honey, I Blew Up the Kids, along with Rick Moranis, passed away over the past week at the age of 66. Born in 1945, Strassman moved to Hollywood at 18, initially because she wanted to be a singer, but she got bit parts in shows like MASH, and then in 1975 got the role of playing the wife of Gabe Kaplan's inner city teacher Kotter. Ran through the 1979 season. She then had parts in several movies, including Tremors, Third Watch, and Providence, before she was cast in Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. She had been diagnosed back in 2007 with breast cancer and finally lost the years-long battle with the disease October 25th. She was 66 years old. Let's see. Next Tuesday, we're actually getting to the point where, obviously, it's getting close to Christmas time because we're starting to notice a whole lot more movies and TV shows and series being released on DVD. Several options this week for movies and some pretty good ones here. Maleficent, which was a better film than what I initially thought it was going to be. We had mentioned The Hobbit. Yeah, The Hobbit, Desolation of Smaug, Extended Edition, comes out this week.
As a friend of mine refers to it, Long Smaug.
Yes, exactly. Planes, Fire, and Rescue, Hercules, The Rock, and a movie called Christmas Candle. I actually had the chance to go see this. It's kind of a low-budget, faith-based film. Not bad, not great, but not bad. It certainly would be worth watching every once in a while around Christmas time, so if you are inclined, go ahead. Couple of TV shows that you could have here. Series 13, and I say Series 13 because it's a British show, and that's what they call it. They don't call them seasons, they call them series. Series 13 of the British show Poirot, Season 2 of The Newsroom off of HBO, and the entire complete series in one box of The Sopranos, should you be so inclined, along with Season 5 of White Collar. White Collar is about to end, isn't it, Ryan?
Yes, it is. As a matter of fact, the new season begins next Thursday, I believe, 9, if not 10, I think it's 10/9 Central on USA.
Okay, is this the last run of episodes, or are they going to kind of split the final season into two?
No, the final season is shortened to the point with consisting of 6 little episodes.
All right, there you go. All right, other news here, and NBC, Jacob, before we get into the news of what they are planning on, they have put out a show called Constantine. Jacob, you've had the chance to check it out. What did you think?
It is not terrible.
Wow, that's a raving review right there.
Yes.
How impressive are you?
I think they did a really good job with the character and the storyline and the world. They really did a good job of basing it. You felt like you were in the comic book world. They did make the main character, John Constantine. They made him a little less of a jerk than he is in the comic books. But you know, I'm going to use a quote from Guardians of the Galaxy and change one word, and you probably wouldn't like the show if he was 100% a jerk. But it was not bad. I did like that. Me and Jeff were talking earlier. I did like that they kind of got rid of the female lead in the first episode. And second episode, they will probably they're going to a new one, which should be better.
Okay.
But it wasn't bad. It's got potential. It's a little better than Gotham, not as good as The Flash. So if kind of put it into terms, so I'm giving it a 2.5.
Okay. 2.5 out of 5, so kind of middling range.
Not bad, but it's got potential to be good, but wasn't there yet.
I'm going to risk Keanu Reeves overload here because this will be the third segment we will have mentioned Keanu Reeves in this particular, and I don't think we've ever mentioned Keanu Reeves in more than one segment ever before on the Entertainment Roundtable. So pardon me if you cringe every time you hear his name. But he had the movie Constantine a couple of years ago. I never saw it. Not really all that interested in the TV show. Which one would you prefer should you watch either?
You know what? I actually have never seen the movie version. So
I have.
Okay, Ryan?
I mean, well, here's the thing, though. I'm not familiar with this character, so I went into the movie, like, knowing nothing about it. When I saw it, I thought it was cool, it was all right, but the TV series, to me, is better. And I have seen the pilot, and I actually agree with what Jacob is saying. It's got potential. To me, it kind of felt like a throwback to the first season of Supernatural because there's a lot of similar elements there. So I think it's cool. And plus, Matt Ryan, I mean, he's a compelling actor, if not a compelling character.
And a mediocre quarterback.
Yeah,
wow, sports throwing out a sports reference. Nicely done, Jacob.
Yeah, I'm with these guys. The pilot, I mean, it is a pilot, so obviously there's going to be some, sort of getting used to it. So there is room to grow. If Matt Ryan had played Constantine in the movie, it would have been just about the perfect Constantine movie because he's written in the movie just right. He's a little too nice. I mean, in the comic, he's just a jerk. To get something done, he will.
So NBC decided that they didn't want to name it Constantine the Jerk and nicened him up a little bit.
Right, it seems that way.
All
Plus, he doesn't.
Here's the other thing: is there room for him to become more of a jerk throughout the course of the
I'm
series?
hoping this getting rid of the girl who was in the pilot that he sort of took under his wing is their step toward that because most of his small kindnesses were directed at her.
Okay, Jacob gave it a 2.5 out of 5. Ryan, what are you giving it?
I'm going to go with. Oh, that's tough. I'm going to go with a 2 out of 4, and I like the DC reference they threw in there with the Dr. Fate helmet. I love that.
All right,
that was great.
Jeff?
Yeah, I'm with these guys, around 2.5 or so.
2 to 2.5, somewhere in that area.
Room to improve.
Gotcha. Then we go to what?
Real quick, I will say he'd do a lot better if he had a better offensive line.
Keep going on that sports reference there, Jacob. I appreciate it. NBC working up an animated holiday special based upon the Will Ferrell movie Elf. Ryan, when are we going to see this? And is Ferrell voicing Buddy or who?
I actually don't have all that information in front of me, so I'm not sure.
Wow, way to go into this. I do know one thing. I know that Buddy actually is not going to be voiced by Ferrell. It's, oh, God, his name just went right out of my Jim Parsons.
Okay,
Jim Parsons plays Sheldon on The Big Bang Theory.
Yeah, let's see. We're seeing that Tuesday, December 16th at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central.
Now, my wife is absolutely in love with the movie Elf.
Well, who isn't?
My favorites.
I'm and don't get me wrong, I think that Jim Parsons is absolutely hilarious. Can he take over that role?
No.
I don't think so. It's weird.
Well, I mean, it's going to be, everybody's going to be claymation it, so sure, why not?
Is this animated or claymation?
It's sort of like the old holiday specials.
Is it?
Yeah.
Well, we'll definitely be checking it out. Speaking of NBC, Jacob, they figured out the future of the show The Mysteries of Laura, which I suppose begs the question, is it a long one or a short one?
Well, they finally figured out that NBC is taking its wins where it can because Mysteries of Laura is its only new show that is at least staying within its regular slot premiere within ratings. So they're giving it a full 22 episodes.
My wife's watching it. I got no desire.
And there you go.
Stupid.
Yeah. ABC, Jeff, mid-season replacement show for Marvel Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Agent Carter continuing to add cast members. They've got made an announcement over this past week. Who is it and what are they playing?
Lindsay Fonseca, who was from the TV show Nikita and also was the girlfriend of the title character in the first Kick-Ass film.
Okay.
She'll be playing Angie Martinelli, who is described as an aspiring actress who befriends Peggy. So, it's either going to be her friend that she turns to when she's not doing S.H.I.E.L.D. stuff, or maybe there might be something else there. But it's just speculation at this point.
Gotcha. CW, Jacob, the new show The Flash, continuing to fill out their cast, adding a cast member this time for a reported kind of a DC Comics role, maybe off in the future. Which role and who is it?
Yeah, they've signed Melise Zhao of Vampire Diaries and Starcrossed fame. to play the character Linda Park. She's going to befriend Iris. She's also she's in the world of journalism, and she's going to kind of have a thing with Barry Allen. Our character will first premiere in episode 12.
All right. I'm enjoying The Flash.
Yeah, it's good.
Really having a lot of fun. With the success of NCIS, one might think Mark Harmon might be able to write his own ticket at CBS, but instead, Ryan apparently he's got a plan for a show that will end up over on the CW. What is the show?
Yes, sir. It's going to be called Shakespeare's Sisters. It's described as a tale of black magic, romance, and revenge. It's going to be set in 1590s London. It's going to chronicle a young William Shakespeare's rise to prominence as he finds himself caught in a deadly conflict among not one but three witches and most powerful woman in the world, Queen Elizabeth. And they're going to try to aim this for a next year, maybe next fall release.
Seems like an odd choice for Mark Harmon to go for.
It's way out of left field.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
It seems like one of the worst premises for a TV show I've ever heard.
But then again, I didn't think Charmed was going to make it all that far, and look how long that made it. So,
good point.
CBS Jeff making decisions on 3 shows and their futures. They have told the cast members of NCIS New Orleans, Madam Secretary, Scorpion, and Stalker what?
Yeah, it looks like they've given full season orders to all 4 of its new dramas. NCIS, New Orleans, Scorpion, Madam Secretary, and Stalker, and you can sort of see why. Let me lay it out for you. 3 of the top 4 new shows of this TV season. NCIS New Orleans is the season's #1 new series.
Mm-hmm.
Scorpion is the season's #2 new series and Monday's most watched drama. And Madam Secretary is Sunday's #1 scripted broadcast, #4 new series. And Stalker has won its Wednesday slot with key demographics every week it's been on.
I watched 2 of these. I watched NCIS New Orleans. I watched Scorpion. I like them both. I tried to watch Madam Secretary. It just kind of went off a little under the weeds politically for me, and I was kind of done. I don't need that much politics in my life.
CBS, they are like...
They're on fire, though.
Like NBC was back in the late 80s and 90s.
Yeah.
Man, CBS is...
Well, and we talked about, I think it was last week, Jacob, where they actually cut the number of script orders they were going to get for their big flagship show CSI because they're having so much success.
Right.
They don't have any place to put their mid-season replacement shows.
Exactly. They got to make some room.
It's messed up. But that said, there's room on TLC. Thank you. There is a God. I celebrated this immediately as I found out. TLC canceled Here Comes Honey Boo Boo, the quasi and queasy reality show about the 5-year-old beauty queen who's not, quite frankly, much of a beauty. It appears dear old mom, known as Mama June on the show, was dating a convicted child molester. June states the report's not true. She's seen Mark McDaniel, has not seen him in over a decade. But follow-up reports have one of the older daughters in the family claiming that he molested her at one point in time or another. So, hey, bye-bye, Honey Boo Boo, and don't let the door hit you on the butt on the way out.
You might
it's
bust
bad when the actors or characters or whatever you want to call them on the show speak English and you still need subtitles.
I've never seen an episode. One of my wife's friends was just absolutely enamored with the show for a while. Me, I'm just celebrating that it's gone.
You're not the only one there, Steve.
Absolutely. MTV, Ryan, continuing to fill out a lineup of original scripted shows, but they're also doing what most networks seem to be doing lately, and that's going to an old movie to create a show. Which one is MTV trying to pull up into the new millennium?
It's going to have to be Ghostface himself. Scream is going to be entered in as a TV series with 10 episodes slated to air in October 2015, and one of the executive producers on the show is the man himself, Wes Craven.
Does this really need to have a TV show made out of it?
Not even close. If they were going to make a 5th installment, then you would have me at hello. But if not, I don't need to see you as a TV series.
I'm not really a big fan of the idea there either. Then there's a show without an outlet, Jacob. Todd McFarlane giving fans a little bit of a glimpse into the new animated series Spawn. What's he saying, and is he talking about a network?
Well, McFarlane is basically saying, hey, he's done a lot of work. He's not sure where it's going to air, but he's done a lot of work on it. He showed some pictures of like a back alley.
So he's going full bore on this. He's expecting this to get picked up by someone.
Yeah, he thinks it will, but I mean, there's not a whole lot to really see here. He's talking about it like this is some major thing, and his last line in this quote is, "Oh, and just wait until you see Spawn himself," and he doesn't show any pictures of Spawn. So.
Of course he doesn't.
Right, I mean, it's like, well, who cares then?
I remember it sort of, and I kind of liked Spawn, the original animated series that showed up on HBO, but it wasn't to the point where I was frothing at the mouth wanting for it to come back. So he's going to have to, I think, fight a little bit for this one.
I want to come clean, you guys. I read Spawn the comic book when it came out in the 90s.
Yeah?
And, it's crap. It's crap. Guy, gets murdered, makes a deal with the devil, comes back and hangs around and mopes in alleyways with homeless people.
Did Michael J. White do the role justice?
Yeah, it was okay.
I like the movie. The Spawn movie was pretty dark for its time, and it was still cool, though. But if they made it as a TV series, I like to see it on Netflix like they're doing with Marvel.
Yeah. Time running out on us here. Ryan, one more note. Speaking of shows without a network, the writer of the movie Man of Steel has another Superman-related gig. What is it, and is there a network interested here?
Right now, no network is interested, but from David Goyer, it's going to be Krypton, and we're not sure if it's going to chronicle events before or after, Krypton exploded or whatnot.
I gotcha. All right, Retro Cinema for the holidays continues on at our friends down at the M-Star Theater in Alabaster this week, November 4th and 5th, 7:30 p.m., The Muppet Christmas Carol, if you're interested, and they're still accepting the donations for the cans for the local food drive that all goes to local food banks. Again, if you get 300 cans in there, pretty much you're guaranteed of getting a pass to walk into any movie the entire year of 2015 and walk out with whatever it is that you wanted. Ryan, Jacob, thank you very much for the time. Jeff, I appreciate it. You all have a fantastic weekend and enjoy it. It's great, fantastic weather.